Give it to me. The disappointment of the first defeat, man. How did you deal with that, man? What was the feeling like after that fight?
Man, you know, just more disappointed in my performance than anything. But, you know, I got 24-hour rule, so, you know, after, 24 hours, within 24 hours of the fight, you know, I was over it, especially as soon as I start to get to eat again, and, you know, it all just kind of, you know, it's whatever at that point.
I wonder, because it's one of those fights where, of course you're disappointed, right? But, I mean, do you take some good things out of it, too? I mean, you're in a tough spot against a veteran, and you came up just short.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from the fight is how judges see fights. You know, I think that fans see it one way, but those particular judges saw it another. You know, all he really did was, you know, kick my leg and, you know, won the fight off leg kicks, which, you know, even before that happened to me, you know, I would see that happen to other fighters and, you know, kind of be like, how did that guy win? But, you know, it's not up to me. It's not up to the, you know, the internet. It's up to those three people. So I just got to do a better job of, I think output was an issue there too.
Right. So your 24-hour rule. So for 24 hours you get to sulk and moan and whine about it a little bit, and then you just have to.
Man, I really didn't even sulk or moan just because, you know, after the fight, I thought I won. If you check out Machida's demeanor before the, you know, his hand was raised, I think that he thought that I had won. So, you know, he and I both know who won.
Very nice. So you get rebooked here in Lincoln. I was curious. I mean, I don't know if you probably came in the same way I did. You passed by a beautiful football mecca over there. No, you didn't ever play here, but did it spark up any feelings of you know, seeing a shrine of football like that?
Man, I actually got one of the guys who trains at my gym. He has a son, a friend of a son, who plays here at Nebraska. So I linked up with him, and you know, he took us on a tour, and you know, it's pretty cool, man. It's very similar to Bama. I think that the scale that Bama's on right now is a little bit grander, but man, they have all the same amenities, and you know, turf and field and indoor, and you know, they really jazz it up and make it look good for the guys that are coming in.
Nice. I know I haven't seen it yet, but I know there's a pretty big piece coming out on you. And football gets brought up every time somebody's talking to you, right? Do you enjoy that conversation at all, or do you feel like I am ready to stop being the football guy that fights now, and I just want to talk about my fighting?
Man, it's whatever it gets people to talk about me. It doesn't matter to me, but I think that sooner or later the football past will shed itself, and they'll stop talking about football and start talking more about my performances and how I've grown as a fighter.
Take the fight out of the equation. What were the lessons you took out of everything else last time? The attention, the interviews, the focus. I mean, were there any lessons that you learned there?
It really wasn't anything more different. You know, I just had to do a little bit more. You know, I had to talk to, you know, more people like you. I had to do the open workouts. But the UFC does a good job of putting all that stuff early in the week so that, you know, the last few days before I got to get on the scale, I have, you know, enough time and stuff, and I'm not, you know, bothered with anything like that. So, you know, it really didn't bother me too much at all.
You go from, you know, the focus of the event to opening up the main card. I mean, still a featured spot, but did it feel like a step down at all to you? Were you disappointed at all to slide back?
Man, you know, it's been 6 months since I fought, so I really didn't care. You know, I'd have fought on the prelims, on the Fight Pass prelims. It really didn't matter. I was, you know, anxious to get back in there, so, you know, it is what it is, you know. I think that happens to a lot of guys, you know. They're here, then they go here, then, you know, they're just all around the place. But I think with another decisive, a big knockout or you know, a really good finish that, you know, I'll be back up there.
The 6 months between, what were the adjustments that you made? I mean, the focus, as you said, you talked about just kind of output and things like that. So, I mean, was this about technique improvements? Was it about strategic improvements, mental changes? What did you focus most on the last 6 months?
Pretty much me, everything. You know, lifting, cardio, you know, mitts, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. You know, I've just taken these last 6 months to get healthy. You know, I don't have any aches or pains. You know, I feel like I'm coming into this fight 100%, which is the first time in a long time. So, you know, I'm good to go. You know, I think that, you know, I've certainly evolved and developed as a fighter. So, you know, 6 months is a long time, and, you know, I'm anxious to get in there and show what I can do.
When they gave you the name Tim Williams, I mean, did you know the guy? I mean, here you are, you're coming facing a legend of the sport to, you know, a guy that's only had one fight. Did you know who he was? Were you excited for it? Was it tough to get kind of motivated for that matchup?
Man, I don't think it's ever tough to get motivated to get ready for an ass-kicking contest. Regardless whether it's Machida or somebody else. That their objective is to go in there and punch me in the face, and who likes that? So. I got to go in there and get a win. It doesn't matter who it is or when it is. So, Tim Williams, Machida, whatever. I'm taking on all comers.
What's the biggest goal here for you in this fight, man? Is it about just getting back in the win column, or is it about making some kind of statement, showing the world, or maybe just showing yourself, that wasn't 100% you last time? What's the biggest goal here?
Man, there's no statement that I don't think I need to make a statement. I just got to go in there, get a win, make it look good, and man, we'll see what happens next.
There was a lot of hype around you the last couple fights, and I think it's still there. I think a lot of people still believe you can be somebody. So, I mean, when you play this fight out, when you see this thing, how do you think this thing goes, and what comes next for you?
I definitely see myself knocking Tim out. I think he's been knocked out 3 of his 4 losses and submitted once. I think I got a strong left hand. I think my striking is much better than his. I think I'm better than him everywhere. So just got to show up Saturday, prove it, get it done. And then I know Dan Kelly's looking for a fight. So if he wants to go out in Australia, I'll be more than happy to oblige.